The underground complex stretched beneath the Atacama Desert, a labyrinth of technological marvel hidden from the world's most advanced satellite imaging. Dr. Elena Rodriguez moved between holographic displays, her movements precise and calculated. Around her, a team of the most brilliant minds from every corner of the globe worked in quiet synchronization. Global cooperation had been humanity's greatest secret weapon. What appeared to be international conflicts and technological competition was, in reality, an elaborate dance of unified preparedness. Nations that seemed to be at odds were actually sharing critical research through encrypted channels, building a collective defense strategy that defied traditional geopolitical boundaries. The complex's central chamber hummed with the energy of quantum computers that processed more information in a second than entire alien civilizations could manage in a year. Holographic projections showed a living, breathing map of human defensive capabilities, a network so intricate and well hidden that it would seem like pure fantasy to any external observer. Elena studied the latest simulation. Adaptive camouflage technologies developed through a combination of metamaterial research, quantum entanglement, and advanced computational modeling created a defensive system unlike anything in the known universe. Satellites that appeared to be simple communication relays were actually complex defensive nodes. Space debris carefully positioned over decades served as potential weapon platforms. Even geological formations have been subtly modified to conceal critical defensive infrastructure. Incoming data packet, announced Dr. Marcus Chen, a quantum communications specialist. His fingers danced across a holographic interface, filtering and analyzing information from global sensor networks. Zarkok's long-range scans are becoming more frequent. They're growing suspicious. Elena nodded, a slight smile crossing her face. Suspicion was exactly what they wanted. The Zarkoks believed they were gathering intelligence, but in reality they were feeding into a carefully constructed narrative of human technological limitations. The room contained representatives from every major technological research center on the planet. Aerospace engineers from Japan worked alongside quantum physicists from Russia. Computational experts from India collaborated with materials scientists from Brazil. Each brought a piece of the grand defensive puzzle, united by a single purpose: protecting Earth from potential galactic threats. A massive holographic display showed the current state of humanity's hidden fleet. Thousands of ships, each a marvel of engineering, remained in perfect concealment. They weren't just warships. They were living technological organisms. Adaptive hull structures could change composition in milliseconds. Quantum entanglement communication systems allowed instantaneous coordination beyond any known technological limitation. The last phase of camouflage integration is complete, reported Dr. Aisha Khalid, a leading expert in adaptive materials. Her work had been crucial in developing technologies that could bend light, absorb radiation, and essentially make entire fleets invisible to conventional and advanced scanning methods. The defensive strategy went far beyond simple military preparation. It was a comprehensive approach that integrated technological innovation, scientific research, and a deep understanding of potential alien psychology. Humanity had spent decades studying potential extraterrestrial civilizations, understanding their technologies, their communication methods, and their potential weaknesses. Global resources had been quietly redirected. What appeared to be investments in infrastructure, scientific research, and technological development were actually components of a massive interconnected defensive network. Educational systems worldwide had been subtly modified to create a generation of innovative thinkers capable of unprecedented technological leaps. Simulation complete, announced the central computer system. The holographic display showed multiple potential invasion scenarios, each met with increasingly sophisticated defensive strategies. No potential alien approach would find Earth unprepared. Elena knew the true strength wasn't in the technology itself, but in the collaborative spirit that created it. Humanity's greatest weapon was its ability to innovate, to adapt, to come together in the face of a potential existential threat. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. As the team continued their preparations, the underground complex remained a beacon of hope, a testament to human potential waiting to be revealed. The sky would soon tell a story that would shock the entire universe. The Zarkok's vessel cut through the darkness of space with calculated precision. Commander Vexnar stood on the bridge, his scaled hands clasped behind his back, multiple eyes scanning the tactical displays with clinical detachment. Generations of galactic conquest had taught the Zarkoks a simple lesson. Technological superiority was everything, and humanity was woefully behind. External sensors probed the space around Earth, collecting data that seemed to confirm their preliminary intelligence. Scattered satellite networks, primitive communication systems, technological infrastructure that appeared fragmented and weak. The planet showed all the signs of a civilization not yet ready for true interstellar engagement. Preliminary scan complete, announced First Navigator Krolax, his voice a low resonant click that echoed through the ship's command center. Defensive capabilities are minimal. Recommended approach is standard territorial annexation protocol. Vexnar allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The Zarkok's Imperium had conquered hundreds of worlds, and Earth would be no different. Their advanced sensor arrays had spent months collecting data, building a comprehensive profile of human technological capabilities. Every intercepted communication, every satellite transmission, every digital signal had been meticulously analyzed. What the commander didn't realize was that each of those sensor pings was precisely what humanity wanted him to see. Deep within Earth's distributed intelligence network, a complex system of artificial intelligence began its most intricate performance. Quantum-encrypted algorithms designed by the world's most brilliant minds parsed every alien scan, creating an elaborate illusion of technological weakness. Communications were carefully crafted, satellite movements precisely choreographed to present exactly the image the Zarkoks expected to see. In a secure monitoring station located beneath the Andes Mountains, a team of global defense specialists watched the alien approach with calculated calm. Dr. Elena Rodriguez studied the alien vessel's movement, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that captured every microscopic detail of the approaching threat. "They're taking the bait perfectly," whispered Dr. Marcus Chen, his eyes reflecting the complex data streams. "Perception management is working exactly as we predicted." The global defense strategy was far more complex than a simple military response. It was a comprehensive psychological operation designed to lull potential threats into a false sense of security. Years of careful preparation had created a narrative of human technological limitation, a story so convincing that even the most advanced alien civilizations would underestimate Earth's true capabilities. Aboard the Zarkok's vessel, complex algorithms continued to process information. Navigation systems calculated potential invasion routes. Weapon systems ran diagnostic checks. Everything appeared routine, another simple planetary conquest in the Imperium's long history of galactic expansion. What made this moment unique was the elaborate trap being set, not through military might, but through an unprecedented level of technological and strategic sophistication. Each seemingly random satellite movement was a carefully placed piece of a larger puzzle. Communication networks that appeared fragmented were actually a distributed quantum-encrypted defense system. What looked like technological weakness was, in fact, the most advanced defensive network ever conceived. First Navigator Krolax continued to compile reports. Atmospheric entry vectors calculated. No significant defensive responses detected. Recommendation remains unchanged. Standard annexation protocol. Commander Vexnar allowed himself a rare moment of almost emotional response, something close to confidence. The Zarkoks had conquered worlds far more technologically advanced than this small blue planet. Earth would be another footnote in their expansive galactic history. Little did he know that every moment of approach was being analyzed by systems of computational intelligence that defied comprehension. Humanity's true strength lay not in obvious military might, but in its ability to transform limitation into opportunity. The space around Earth seemed calm, almost peaceful. Scattered satellites drifted in their orbits. Communication networks hummed with what appeared to be routine transmissions. To the Zarkoks, it looked like the approach of yet another easy conquest. But beneath that calm surface, something extraordinary was preparing to emerge. As the alien vessel continued its approach, the true nature of humanity's preparedness remained hidden. A sleeping giant about to awaken and redefine the very concept of galactic power. The first hint of something extraordinary came as a subtle ripple in the fabric of space. Commander Vexnar's primary sensory cluster detected an anomaly, a microscopic distortion that shouldn't exist. Before he could process the information, reality itself began to change. Holographic camouflage systems dissolved like morning mist, revealing a network of warships that defied every known principle of spaceship design. What had appeared to be empty space, scattered satellites, and harmless space debris transformed into a breathtaking array of technological marvel. Each ship was a living testament to human innovation. Adaptive hull structures shifted and changed, moving beyond simple color alteration into complete molecular reconfiguration. Surfaces that moments ago seemed to be ordinary space debris now revealed intricate geometries that absorbed and redirected energy in ways that challenged fundamental understanding of physics. On the bridge of the Zarkoks vessel, alarm systems erupted in a cacophony of warning signals. First Navigator Krulax's multiple eyes widened in a biological response that translated to pure shock. "Impossible," he whispered, his translation implant struggling to process the visual data. The ships were not just numerous. They were fundamentally different from any known spacefaring design. Where Zarkoks vessels followed strict geometric principles and standardized construction, these human ships looked like living organisms. Hull plates moved like breathing skin, sensor arrays morphed and reshaped continuously, weapon systems that seemed to emerge from the very structure of the ship rather than being attached to it. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched from the underground command center, her hand resting lightly on a quantum communication interface. Years of preparation had led to this moment, a revelation that would rewrite galactic understanding of human capabilities. Quantum entanglement communication systems are now at full synchronization, announced Dr. Marcus Chen. The human fleet moved with a precision that suggested a single, collective intelligence. Each ship was both an individual unit and part of a larger, living network. The space around Earth transformed into a canvas of technological brilliance. Thousands of ships materialized, their surfaces shifting between near invisibility and solid form. Energy signatures that had been completely masked now blazed with an intensity that sent shockwaves through alien sensor arrays. Weapon systems that defied current scientific understanding began to power up. These were not simple energy weapons or projectile launchers. They manipulated fundamental forces, quantum cascades that could disrupt molecular bonds, gravitational distortions that could crush matter at the subatomic level, energy projections that seemed to bend the very laws of physics. Commander Vexnar's tactical systems went into overdrive. Computational matrices tried to analyze the emerging threat, but each attempt resulted in cascading system failures. The human ships were generating interference patterns that overwhelmed alien scanning technology. Complete technological camouflage breakthrough, Dr. Aisha Khalid reported from the command center. Her team's work on adaptive metamaterials had created something beyond stealth technology. These ships could literally reshape their molecular structure to become invisible, or transform into offensive and defensive configurations in milliseconds. The Zarkoks vessel's communication networks erupted in chaos. Distress signals, tactical assessments, and pure confusion blended into a cacophony of alien panic. They had approached Earth expecting a simple conquest, only to find themselves facing a technological nightmare. Each human ship represented decades of global scientific collaboration. Resources that had appeared to be invested in infrastructure, education, and seemingly unrelated technological research had actually been part of a massive interconnected defensive network. The world's brightest minds had been working toward this moment, a unified response to potential galactic threats. The quantum communication network that connected the human fleet was more than a military system. It was a living, adaptive intelligence that processed information faster than any known computational system. Ships communicated, adjusted, and responded with a level of synchronization that suggested they were more than machines. They were an extension of human creativity and innovation. As the full extent of the human fleet revealed itself, the space around Earth transformed. What had moments ago seemed like an empty void now blazed with the potential of an entire species. The sky had become a canvas, and humanity was about to paint a masterpiece of technological superiority. Commander Vexnar understood then what no Zarkok's strategic analysis had predicted. Humanity was not just another civilization to be conquered. They were something entirely different, a species that had been waiting, watching, and preparing for this exact moment. The revelation was complete. The sky had shattered, and the universe would never be the same. The alien communication networks erupted into a symphony of confusion and terror. Where moments ago they had expected a simple planetary conquest, they now faced a technological marvel that defied every known principle of spacefaring design. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched the tactical displays, her fingers hovering over quantum-encrypted interfaces. Each human ship was more than a weapon. It was a living testament to human innovation. Biomechanical systems responded faster than organic thought, creating a defensive network that pulsed with an almost sentient intelligence. The first wave of Zarkok's attack formations disintegrated before they could even complete their initial assault patterns. Energy weapons that manipulated fundamental physics carved through alien defenses with surgical precision. These were not conventional weapons, but manifestations of scientific breakthroughs that had been quietly developed across global research facilities. Adaptive response matrix at full capacity, reported Dr. Marcus Chen. The human fleet moved like a single organism, each ship anticipating potential threats before they could fully materialize. Quantum communication networks allowed for instantaneous tactical adjustments that no centralized command structure could match. Aboard the lead Zarkok's vessel, Commander Vexnar watched in growing horror as his most advanced weapon systems became obsolete. Defensive shields that had protected the Imperium for centuries simply ceased to function. The human ships didn't just overcome these defenses, they fundamentally rewrote the rules of engagement. Each vessel represented a breakthrough that had been decades in the making. Material science had evolved beyond traditional understanding. Hull structures could redistribute energy, absorb impacts, and regenerate damage at the molecular level. Propulsion systems bent the very fabric of space-time, allowing for movement that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The true shock was not just the technological superiority, but the collaborative spirit that created it. These ships were the result of a global effort that transcended national boundaries. Research centers from every continent had contributed critical components. What appeared to be competitive technological development was actually a carefully orchestrated global defense initiative. Energy projections from human ships created complex interference patterns that systematically disabled Zarkok's technological systems. It wasn't just about destruction. It was a precise, calculated dismantling of alien technological capabilities. Each strike was a surgical demonstration of scientific understanding that far exceeded anything the Zarkoks had encountered. Dr. Aisha Khalid monitored the adaptive response systems, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. The ships were more than machines. They were living technological organisms. Sensor arrays morphed continuously, creating dynamic defensive and offensive configurations that changed faster than any computer could predict. The Zarkoks had built their galactic reputation on technological superiority. They had conquered worlds, subjugated civilizations, and expanded their imperium through overwhelming technological might. Now they faced an opponent that had been preparing for this moment for decades. Computational systems aboard human ships processed information at speeds that made alien technology seem primitive. Quantum entanglement communication allowed for instantaneous coordination that removed any traditional limitations of centralized command. Each ship was both an individual unit and part of a larger collective intelligence. Defensive matrix is holding at 98.7% efficiency, announced the Central Command System. The human fleet moved with a precision that suggested a single, collective consciousness. Ships anticipated each other's movements, created complex defensive formations, and responded to threats before they could fully materialize. What the Zarkoks didn't understand was that this was more than a military response. It was a demonstration of human potential, a declaration that humanity would not be a passive observer in the galactic community. Years of seemingly unrelated research, of investments in education, technology, and scientific innovation had prepared for this moment. The space around Earth transformed into a canvas of technological brilliance. Energy signatures blazed with an intensity that sent shockwaves through alien sensor systems. Weapon technologies that manipulated fundamental forces created displays of scientific mastery that were as beautiful as they were terrifying. Commander Vexnar realized then the true nature of the trap. Humanity had not just prepared a defense, they had created a comprehensive demonstration of technological superiority that would reshape galactic understanding forever. The technological symphony reached its crescendo. The sky continued to reveal humanity's true potential, a performance of scientific innovation that would be remembered throughout the galaxy. Commander Vexnar realized the trap too late. Humanity's first strike was a work of strategic art that defied every principle of warfare the Zarkoks understood. Each targeting solution calculated with impossible precision. Energy beams seemed to predict movement rather than react to it. The command center beneath the Atacama Desert hummed with quiet intensity. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched multiple holographic displays, each showing a different layer of the unfolding conflict. Her team had spent decades preparing for this moment, not just developing technology, but understanding the psychological and strategic vulnerabilities of potential alien threats. Quantum predictive algorithms are functioning at 99.8% accuracy, reported Dr. Marcus Chen. His fingers moved across holographic interfaces, tracking the battle with a precision that made traditional military command look like child's play. The human fleet moved with a synchronization that suggested a single, collective intelligence. Zarkok's vessels began to fall with mathematical precision. It wasn't simply about destroying ships. Each strike was a carefully calculated message. Weapon systems targeted specific technological components, dismantling the alien fleet's capabilities with surgical accuracy. Critical communication nodes, propulsion systems, and defensive shields were neutralized before the Zarkoks could even comprehend the attack. The true brilliance of the human strategy became apparent with each passing moment. This was not a random assault, but a comprehensive demonstration of technological and strategic superiority. Every movement, every energy projection had been calculated thousands of times across multiple predictive models. Dr. Aisha Khalid monitored the adaptive response systems. The ships were living technological organisms, their hull structures shifting and changing at the molecular level. Damage absorption systems redirected incoming energy, turning potential weapon strikes into sources of additional power. What appeared to be defensive maneuvers were actually offensive strategies in disguise. Aboard the Zarkoks command vessel, panic began to spread. Communication systems failed catastrophically. Weapon arrays that had conquered hundreds of worlds became useless against an opponent that seemed to understand their technology better than they did. Each attempt to counter the human fleet was anticipated and neutralized before it could fully form. The global defense strategy was far more than a military response. It was the culmination of decades of scientific collaboration, of turning human competitive spirit into a unified defensive mechanism. Research centers from every continent had contributed critical components. What had appeared to be technological competition was actually a carefully orchestrated global initiative. Energy redirection at maximum efficiency, announced the Central Command System. The human fleet created complex interference patterns that systematically disabled alien technological systems. It wasn't just about destruction. It was a precise, calculated dismantling of the Zarkoks' technological capabilities. Commander Vexnar watched in growing horror as his most advanced strategic systems became completely ineffective. Defensive protocols that had protected the Zarkok's Imperium for generations collapsed like paper structures. The human ships didn't just overcome these defenses, they fundamentally rewrote the rules of engagement. Each ship was a marvel of interdisciplinary innovation. Materials science, quantum computing, biomechanical engineering, and adaptive AI had been combined in ways that transformed traditional understanding of spaceship design. Hull structures could redistribute energy, absorb impacts, and regenerate damage at the molecular level. The psychological warfare was as impressive as the technological assault. Every action of the human fleet was designed to demonstrate not just military superiority, but a fundamental understanding of alien technological principles that far exceeded the Zarkok's comprehension. Propulsion systems that bent spacetime, energy weapons that manipulated fundamental forces, communication networks that operated beyond traditional computational limitations. Each element was a statement. Humanity was not just defending itself, it was announcing its arrival on the galactic stage. Predictive models show complete neutralization in approximately 17 minutes, Dr. Chen reported. The precision was almost casual, a scientific observation rather than a dramatic proclamation. The human fleet continued its systematic dismantling of the Zarkok's assault with an almost academic detachment. As alien ships continued to fall, it became clear that this was more than a battle. It was a comprehensive demonstration of human potential. Years of seemingly unrelated research, of investments in education, technology, and scientific innovation had prepared for this exact moment. The space around Earth transformed into a canvas of technological brilliance. Energy signatures blazed with an intensity that redefined understanding of warfare. The Zarkok's had approached expecting a simple conquest. Instead, they found themselves facing the full, terrifying potential of a species they had completely underestimated. Commander Vexnar understood then the true nature of the trap. Humanity had not just prepared a defense, they had created a comprehensive demonstration of technological superiority that would reshape galactic understanding forever. The news of the conflict spread faster than light itself, carried by quantum communication networks that traversed the galactic communication web. Every spacefaring civilization received fragments of the encounter, snippets of data that painted an unprecedented picture of technological warfare. Deep within the communication relay stations of multiple alien civilizations, analysts and researchers began to piece together the impossible narrative. A supposedly primitive planet had not just defended itself, it had utterly dismantled one of the most advanced military forces in the known galaxy. Intercepted transmissions revealed layers of shock that went far beyond simple military defeat. The Zarkok's Imperium's communication networks collapsed into a state of complete disarray. Tactical databases that had cataloged hundreds of planetary conquests now contained a single, impossible entry that challenged everything they understood about technological development. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched the global communication monitoring centers, understanding that this moment was about far more than a single military engagement. It was a declaration of humanity's place in the galactic community, a statement that would reverberate through countless civilizations. Preliminary galactic response data is coming in, reported Dr. Marcus Chen. His fingers moved across quantum-encrypted interfaces, parsing through millions of communication fragments. The reactions were complex, a mixture of terror, disbelief, and a growing recognition of a new galactic power. Some alien civilizations responded with immediate defensive posturing. Communication networks lit up with emergency protocols, defensive systems activated across multiple star systems. The human demonstration of technological capability had triggered a galaxy-wide reassessment of potential threats. Other civilizations showed a different response, curiosity that bordered on scientific fascination. Research institutions began analyzing every fragment of data, trying to understand the technological breakthroughs that had made such a comprehensive victory possible. Humanity had become an instant subject of intense scientific interest. The communication patterns told a story of their own. Where the Zarkok's had approached with confidence, they now transmitted pure confusion. Their communication algorithms struggled to process the defeat, generating transmission patterns that revealed deep technological and strategic vulnerabilities. Dr. Aisha Khalid monitored the global communication networks, her team parsing through the galactic response. "We're seeing multiple layers of reaction," she reported. "Initial military assessments, scientific research communications, diplomatic communication networks, all showing significant disruption. The human victory was more than a military achievement. It was a comprehensive demonstration of technological innovation that challenged fundamental understanding of technological development." Civilizations that had long viewed humanity as a primitive species now faced a radical recalibration of their perspective. Communication relays captured fragments of diplomatic communications. Some alien governments discussed potential diplomatic approaches, while others activated long-dormant defensive protocols. The human demonstration of technological capability had fundamentally altered galactic power dynamics. Research institutions across multiple star systems began analyzing every available data fragment. Scientific communication networks buzzed with theories about human technological development. How had a supposedly young species developed technologies that seemed to defy known physical limitations? The most sophisticated analysis came from civilizations with advanced research capabilities. They recognized something deeper in the human victory, a level of collaborative innovation that went beyond traditional technological development. This was not just about military technology, but a comprehensive approach to scientific and technological progress. Quantum communication networks continued to pulse with information. Each transmission carried fragments of the encounter, each analysis adding new layers of complexity to the understanding of human capabilities. The galaxy was recalibrating its understanding of technological potential. Galactic communication patterns are showing significant disruption, Dr. Chen reported. Traditional communication hierarchies were breaking down, replaced by a frenzy of scientific and diplomatic analysis. Humanity had become an instant focal point of galactic attention. Some civilizations responded with fear, activating defensive systems and reassessing diplomatic strategies. Others responded with scientific curiosity, launching extensive research initiatives to understand the technological breakthroughs demonstrated by humans. The human victory was a quantum leap in galactic understanding. It wasn't just about military superiority. It was a comprehensive demonstration of collaborative innovation, technological potential, and an approach to scientific development that challenged every existing galactic paradigm. As communication networks continued to pulse with analysis and speculation, one thing became clear: the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had announced its arrival, not with a whisper, but with a technological symphony that redefined understanding of scientific potential. The underground command center buzzed with a different kind of energy. Where military preparation had dominated previous strategies, diplomacy now took center stage. Dr. Elena Rodriguez studied the incoming communication streams from various galactic diplomatic channels, understanding that the real battle was about to begin. With the Zarkok's threat neutralized, humanity prepared to send a clear message to the galactic community. This was not an act of aggression, but a definitive statement of sovereignty. The global diplomatic team, comprised of the world's most brilliant negotiators, linguists, and strategic analysts, worked in perfect synchronization. "Diplomatic communication package is ready for transmission," announced Dr. Marcus Chen. The message had been crafted with mathematical precision. Each word, each concept carefully constructed to convey humanity's new status in the galactic community. The communication was a masterpiece of diplomatic engineering. It spoke of peaceful intentions while simultaneously demonstrating unprecedented technological capability. Multiple translation algorithms ensured the message would be understood across various alien communication protocols, with nuanced contextual adaptations for different cultural communication styles. Dr. Aisha Khalid oversaw the quantum communication network that would deliver the message. Unlike traditional diplomatic communications, this transmission utilized advanced quantum entanglement technologies that ensured perfect fidelity across vast interstellar distances. The message was simple yet profound. Humanity declared its intent to engage with the galactic community as an equal, not as a subject or a potential conquest. It outlined a vision of collaborative scientific exchange, technological cooperation, and mutual understanding. Each word was backed by the recent demonstration of technological superiority. Diplomatic channels from multiple alien civilizations began to respond. Some approached with caution, others with genuine scientific curiosity. Research institutions requested communication protocols for potential technological exchanges. Diplomatic missions began preparing approaches to this newly revealed galactic power. The hidden warships remained partially visible, a constant reminder of humanity's potential. They were not a threat, but a statement. Each ship represented decades of global scientific collaboration, a living testament to human innovative potential. Global resources that had been secretly channeled into this defensive and diplomatic preparation now found new purpose. Educational systems that had been subtly modified to create innovative thinkers now prepared for potential galactic scientific exchanges. Research centers from every continent began preparing comprehensive knowledge-sharing protocols. Initial diplomatic responses are coming in, reported the communication analysis team. The reactions were complex, a mixture of respect, fear, and genuine scientific interest. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had fundamentally altered the galactic diplomatic landscape. Some alien civilizations approached with diplomatic caution. Their communication protocols suggested careful negotiation, attempts to understand the depth of human technological capabilities. Others showed more direct scientific curiosity, requesting detailed information about the technological breakthroughs demonstrated during the conflict. The diplomatic strategy was as sophisticated as the military one. Every communication was designed to demonstrate humanity's commitment to peaceful coexistence while maintaining a clear understanding of its technological capabilities. It was a delicate balance of strength and openness. Research institutions across multiple star systems began preparing comprehensive analysis packages. They recognized that humanity represented something unprecedented, a civilization that had developed technologies that challenged fundamental understanding of scientific potential. Dr. Rodriguez understood that this was more than a diplomatic moment. It was an opportunity to reshape galactic understanding of human potential. The recent conflict was not just a defensive action, but a comprehensive demonstration of collaborative innovation. Quantum communication networks continued to pulse with diplomatic exchanges. Each transmission carried layers of nuanced communication, exploring potential areas of scientific and cultural exchange. The galaxy was recalibrating its understanding of humanity. Some diplomatic approaches came with underlying tones of caution. Alien civilizations that had long viewed humanity as a potential subject now faced a radical recalibration of their perspective. The diplomatic landscape had fundamentally changed. The global team had prepared for this moment for decades. What appeared to be competitive technological development was actually a carefully orchestrated global initiative. Every aspect of the diplomatic approach had been meticulously planned, with multiple contingency protocols ready for various potential responses. As communication networks continued to pulse with diplomatic exchanges, one thing became clear. Humanity had transformed from an overlooked species to a significant galactic player. The diplomatic symphony that followed the military demonstration was equally impressive, a testament to human potential for innovation, collaboration, and strategic thinking. Months passed, and the galaxy continued to adjust to humanity's unexpected emergence as a technological powerhouse. The space around Earth remained a canvas of potential, a constant reminder of the transformation that had occurred during those critical moments of conflict. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood in the underground command center, watching the evolving galactic communication networks. What had begun as a defensive action had become something far more significant, a fundamental reimagining of humanity's place in the universe. Research institutions from across multiple star systems now sought collaborative opportunities with human scientists. Where once humanity had been viewed as a primitive species, they were now recognized as an innovative civilization with technological capabilities that defied previous understanding. Incoming diplomatic transmission, announced Dr. Marcus Chen. The quantum communication networks had become a complex web of scientific and diplomatic exchanges. Each transmission carried layers of potential, collaborative research proposals, technological exchange protocols, and carefully negotiated diplomatic agreements. The hidden warships that had once been a defensive network now served a different purpose. They remained partially visible, a living testament to human potential. Each vessel was a mobile research station, a diplomatic platform, a symbol of humanity's new galactic status. Dr. Aisha Khalid monitored the global scientific exchanges. Research centers from every continent now collaborated on projects that would have been unimaginable mere months ago. Technological breakthroughs emerged at an unprecedented rate, fueled by the collective human spirit of innovation and the influx of new scientific perspectives from alien civilizations. Educational systems worldwide had been transformed. Curriculum now included comprehensive galactic studies, advanced interdisciplinary research methodologies, and preparation for potential interstellar scientific collaborations. The next generation was being prepared for a future that extended far beyond Earth's boundaries. The diplomatic landscape had undergone a complete transformation. Alien civilizations that had once viewed humanity as a potential conquest now approached with respect and genuine scientific curiosity. Diplomatic missions became exchanges of knowledge, cultural understanding, and technological potential. Global resources that had been secretly channeled into defensive preparation now found new purpose. Infrastructure projects began to integrate technologies developed during the conflict. Urban planning, energy systems, communication networks, all benefited from the scientific breakthroughs that had been hidden for decades. Comprehensive Galactic Integration Report, Dr. Chen reported. The analytics were fascinating. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had opened up entirely new possibilities for scientific and cultural exchange. The galaxy was recalibrating its understanding of collaborative potential. Some alien civilizations approached with caution, others with excitement. Research proposals flooded in from across multiple star systems. Scientists, diplomats, and cultural experts sought to understand the depth of human innovative capabilities. The recent conflict had become a case study in technological and strategic innovation. The hidden warships continued to serve as mobile research and diplomatic platforms. Each vessel represented more than military potential. They were living laboratories, diplomatic centers, symbols of humanity's commitment to peaceful scientific exploration. Dr. Rodriguez understood that this was more than a moment of technological triumph. It was a fundamental shift in galactic understanding. Humanity had demonstrated that true strength came not from conquest, but from collaborative innovation, scientific curiosity, and a commitment to mutual understanding. Educational initiatives expanded to include comprehensive galactic studies. Language programs developed translation technologies that went beyond simple communication. They explored cultural nuances, scientific conceptualizations, and collaborative potential across different species. The quantum communication networks continued to pulse with endless possibilities. Each transmission carried the potential for new scientific discoveries, diplomatic breakthroughs, and collaborative innovations. The galaxy had fundamentally changed, and humanity was at the forefront of this transformation. Alien civilizations that had once viewed Earth as a potential target now sought partnerships. Scientific exchanges became the new currency of galactic interaction. Research proposals, cultural understanding initiatives, and collaborative technological development replaced previous models of conquest and domination. As the months passed, one thing became abundantly clear. The sky was no longer a barrier. It had become a canvas of infinite potential, a testament to human creativity, innovation, and the extraordinary capacity for collaboration. The moment when Earth's sky had shattered to reveal hidden warships was now understood as more than a defensive action. It was the beginning of a new chapter, not just for humanity, but for the entire galaxy.